Hello, welcome to the session where I will show you all the ins and outs of academic labs. I'm really hoping that this session can give you a good overview of what academic labs is capable of and how you can get to various different use cases all in one platform. Now, what I will do is share my screen and show you the first screen that you will see when you create an account on Academic Labs. It's the search homepage. And here you will see all the different data categories that you'll get access to once you become a customer of Academic Labs or are testing Academic Labs. Now, what you can do first is do a quick search on any topic um, by entering your keyword here and pressing the enter. And you will see now what we have done is we have gone to tens of different databases all across the internet and pulled up all the key information that we have on your search term, in this case, gene therapy. So we see that we have 600,000 results on gene therapy in Academic Labs, and you can see exactly where those results came from. So we see that we have 27,000 expert profiles of research groups and 300,000 researcher profiles. So in Academic Labs, you can get both an overview of teams of researcher in the top 1,000 universities of this world, so which is the research groups, and also individual researchers. Now, something which makes Academic Labs completely different is that we have the research groups structured in the form of teams from the 1,000 top leading universities of the world, all in one place. And the way we do that is we manually curate this research group information from the websites of these 1,000 leading universities of the world. We have a team of data collection experts who manually go to those profiles and bring together key information such as ongoing research, the mission of the group, the emails, the link to their websites, and so on. And when we get all those information, we create the profiles out of them. And what we do next is we link those profiles to tens of different publicly available databases that we find from R&D, such as the NIH projects database, the EU Horizon 2020 database, IMI, Wellcome Trust, UK Research and Innovation, and so on. So all that information and from projects from these databases are linked to the research group profiles. Similarly, we link all the clinical trial databases to the profiles. We also link the publications databases such as PubMed, bioRxiv, chemistry, medical discipline papers, all the papers citing PubMed and so on to the research groups as well. Same thing we do for the patents from EU and USPTO since 2015 onwards. So what you end up with after all this information is linked to the manually curated profiles is a 360-degree overview of what the research group is doing today, what did they do yesterday, and what will they be doing in the future, thanks to all the funded projects. Now, apart from the university research groups, we also have 300,000 researchers, which come not just from the top 1,000 universities, but all the universities, and also company researchers, university hospitals and other hospitals. We also have research institutes in here. So basically any scientist with more than 10 publications in biology, medicine, or chemistry should be in here, which includes the key opinion leaders and rising stars. Now, this was a broad overview of Academic Labs with all the data categories. Now let's move to individual use cases. So the first use case is finding experts. What you can do to find experts is go to either research group or researcher categories. Let me just go to the researchers category in this case, because it gives me with more data for this particular topic. Now, what you see is that we find a lot of different researchers. And at the top, of course, we show you those researchers which have most research activities on your topic. So we show you that by default. In this case, James M. Wilson, he has 389 publications on gene therapy and 50,000 citations on gene therapy, as compared to the other researchers with like Professor Curiel and Dr. Trasher, who have lesser citations and publications than Professor Wilson. So that's the first thing that we show you. But how do you get from 300,000 research groups, researchers to the top key opinion leaders and the top experts? To do that, we made it very easy for you in the form of quick filters. So the first quick filter, if you click on it, published recently in top journals, it will take you from 300,000 research groups to 10,000 research groups instantly. Researchers. And these 10,000 researchers have published in the top 10 journals that have papers on your topic. So all those journals that are relevant to you because they have been publishing papers on your topic. And at the same time, they also have been publishing in the last recent years, last 4 years on your topic. So they have done top quality research on your topic and also have been recently active on your topic. And that's the criteria we use for key opinion leaders. And you can see that Professor Wilson, who initially had showed up, again shows up because it seems that all his 389 publications, a lot of them have been in top journals. So it's a good quality metric to scan for. Next, if you want to find out the key opinion leaders on your specific geographical location, let's just say you're based somewhere in the world and you are doing a particular project for which you have to find researchers from the UK. You simply click on the UK and you see all the key opinion leaders coming from the UK. You can see professors from University College London, University of Oxford, University of Glasgow, and so on. What you can do next is also get a regional hotspot analysis in the organization filter. So you can see here which are the top universities in UK where the key opinion leaders are based. So it's Oxford, Cambridge, UCL, Imperial College London, and Glasgow as top 5. All right, so this is for the key opinion leaders, but the beauty of our filters is that you can get a very good insights and analytics on all the search results that you have. So let's just say on the top left, you see in the country filter, you want to see where in the world is gene therapy most research happening the most. And you can see based on the volume of researchers, you can really see that United States, China, Japan, these are the top 3 universities where there are most researchers working on your area. Of course, you can do the same type of analysis based on other data categories like funded projects or clinical trials, and each category will give you insights of their own. And I will show you that in a bit. All right, now moving on, what you can do as well, apart from KOLs, which makes academic labs really special, is you can find the up and coming scientists on your topic, the rising stars. So there are 2 ways to do that. I'm going to show you both right now very quickly. First thing is if you click on simply the rising star quick filter, you with one click, you'll immediately go to those 2,500 researchers who have not just published in the top 10 journals on your topic and not just published recently on your topic, but also they have total publications less than 50 and have published at least 10 papers. So this shows that they are not that active in the R&D ecosystem yet, but they have indeed been publishing in top journals. And at the same time, we auto-select as well the most cited on your topic filter as a quality metric. So you can, of course, change the search algorithm according to what you need. And in this case, we in this quick filter, we show you that this is one of the ways to do that, that you select the sort by most cited filter. What you will see when you sort by most cited option is that at the top you will see those researchers who have got a lot of citations and impact on your topic. So in this case, Matthew Martin from Merck has 18,000 citations on gene therapy with just 3 publications, and that's the sort of impact that you're looking for. And it's also worth stating that one of those 3 publications, or all of those 3 publications, came from the top 10 journals on gene therapy. So that's one method that we saw as being very, very effective in collaboration with our customers. So sort by most cited and the number of publications being limited, and also publishing in the top journals in the last couple of years. So you can as well, when you scroll down the results, you can also see a lot of researchers who have only started publishing recently on your topic, but they have been doing really, really good research. Of course, depends on you if you want to use even more strict criteria. So feel free to use a lot of our other filter options or sorting options that we have, where it will surely give you a lot of good results. Like, for example, this researcher from University of California, who has 4,500 citations and have been only active since that with 2016 onwards. There's another interesting way to figure out the rising stars, and that is by going to the profile of a key opinion leader. So we can see that in this case, James and Wilson, Matthew Curiel has got a lot of research activities on your topic, also in the top journals, and hence is one of the key opinion leaders on your topic. Now, what you can do is go to the research section of Professor Curiel. You can search with one click on the same search term that you had before, which is gene therapy. What you can then see is that on the top left, you have authors and research group filters within the profile. So now you're within the profile, you're seeing all the publications of this person on gene therapy, and you can see a lot of other research groups that have been collaborating with the key opinion leader on your topic, but they did not immediately pop up at the top of your results. So a lot of them can be rising stars. They may not be well known because they're not super active, but they're working with the key opinion leaders, and you can also see who is the key opinion leader group, in this case, Professor Curiel, working with to publish Nature articles. And you can see a lot of different research groups who are involved in that. You can also see who are the groups in the top 10 journals on your topic by clicking all the journal articles, and you can immediately get full analytics on the research groups and the researchers that have been most actively working on publications with these key opinion leader group. All right, so that was finding experts. Now, what next happens is that you don't just want to find experts, you want to contact the experts or connect with the experts to establish a collaboration. So we make this easy using 2 steps. Firstly, you can go to a profile. It could be an individual researcher profile or a research group profile. A research group profile looks like this, where you have the mission, you have ongoing research. In this case, there was no ongoing research from the websites where we curate the information. So we have just the mission. You also have all the other information that is available publicly. So we get the publications, we get the funded projects, we get the patents, we get the clinical trials. All this information is available over here. Of course, you can search within this profile and see all the information of this group on your topic. And after you have evaluated this this group, by, for example, going to the publications and seeing the publications on your topic, and then seeing the most cited publications of this group on your topic, which happens to be this one from top journal, New England Journal of Medicine. And you can read the abstract and see the full text by clicking this link if your organization has contract with the publisher. So you can do all that and more by going to the research section. And if you feel this is a good fit for you, you can just click on send email button, and you can contact this research group directly from Academic Labs. So you don't have to go to another application. You can just enter the email address and your, sorry, the email subject line and your message, and click send. And what Academic Labs will do is we will deliver the email instantly to Professor Thrasher as you. So it comes from your name, not from Academic Labs. And also the email is a plain text email without any Academic Labs promotions, and sent in an encrypted way. When the professor sees your email, he can choose to reply to your email. And when he or she replies to your email, you'll also receive the email in your inbox. So Academic Labs doesn't maintain any trace of the or contents of the conversation. We just connect you to Professor Thrasher. And of course, you will see the email of Professor Thrasher when the professor chooses to reply to you as compliant with GDPR. Now, if you want to directly get the email address of Professor Thrasher, instead of writing the email from Academic Labs, there's another way that we provide you. What you can do is you can go to this link. Each research group will have this link, which allows you to go to the official website of the research group and get the email of the group leader, in this case, Professor Thrasher, or any of the postdoc. In Academic Labs, we only provide the email of the group leader, in this case, Professor Thrasher. In case there are multiple group leaders, you can choose which one you want to contact. But using this link, you can, of course, get the phone numbers and emails of everyone, not just the group leader. All right, now I will go back to the search results to show you another interesting case to not just discover your ideal academic experts, but also companies that are working on your topic. So what you can do is, again, depends on the category you're in. In this case, you're in the researchers category. What you can simply do is go to organization type company. And immediately you go from hundreds of thousands of researchers to 5,000 researchers that are working at companies or working at universities and affiliated officially with companies. In this case, you see the top 5 companies that have researchers working on your topic. In terms of volume of researchers, it's Pfizer, AstraZeneca, GSK, Roche, Eli Lilly, J&J, and so on. So that's a quick analytics that you can get out of your topic. What you can do also is you can as well go to the patents category. And now on the top left, there's the applicants filter. And in the applicants filter, you'll get universities and companies both that have the most research activities on your topics. You can see here University of Pennsylvania, University of California, and companies such as Genentech, uBiome, CureVac, and so on. That's an interesting way for you to get a quick overview of the key players on your topic in terms of IP. Now, if you want to see only those companies who have been active in the ecosystem recently, you can just click on 2018 onwards in terms of filed patents. And then you will immediately see that the list here has changed a little bit. You can see that actually The University of Texas is now number 2. Genentech is still there, but Novartis has moved up as well. So you can see quite some up-to-date information based on this. What you can do as well is go to the funded project section and see which are the companies active today on your topic. So to do that, you can see this filter called Start Your Range. You can select the last 2-3 years on your topic. So let's just say I selected 2019 onwards. Now you see 4,700 projects starting from 2019. You can also scroll here and see most of the projects are ongoing. So you have a clear up-to-date overview on anything that is happening on your topic. You can also see here in the organization section, all the companies and universities that have been getting funded on your topic recently. Now, interestingly, you can add one more option on top of this, the sorting option called highest funding amount. So when you do that, you will see that at the top, you will see those projects with who got the most funding to work on your topic. In this case, Cell Therapy Catapult company got 140 million pounds on this research from UK Research and Innovation. You can as well see George Washington University got NIH funding of 49 million to work on this topic. You can as well see who are the PIs that are involved in this topic. And you clearly see here that the USP of academic labs is to link all the information to the profiles and to each other. So in this case, you see from the project, all the profiles of the PIs, as well as the research group of the PIs, as well as the profile of the university. So you can go to the Columbia University, for example, from here, do a quick search on gene therapy and see everything happening in Columbia University on gene therapy, including the research groups and the researchers on your topic. So interesting analogy of academic labs would be Wikipedia. So like Wikipedia, academic labs links information to each other, and depending on what you're looking for and what you want to extract, the answers to the questions that you want to extract. So you can choose to guide your search accordingly. All right, so that was finding companies on academic labs.